My name's Tamzin. I'm Head of Strategic Partnerships at Castle Water, and I'm here to bring you today's session on water sustainability and water efficiency. Ellie, I should have asked you this beforehand. Do you want me to take over and to share my screen?
Yeah, go for it, Tamzin. Thank you.
No, that's fine. I should have just thought I've got it all ready to share, and I just suddenly thought, oh, I just better double check. So 2 ticks while I just get my screen up and running. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Fabulous, thank you. Okay, so like I say, my name is Tamzin Horn and I'm Head of Strategic Partnerships here at Castle Water. I have got a jam-packed, probably half an hour, maybe 45 minutes for you. And as Ellie said, we will do some Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions at the end for me, please just fire them away. If I can't answer them here, I will absolutely take them away for you and answer them at a later stage. Okay. Why is that not moving? Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to do is talk to you a bit about the difference between water sustainability and water efficiency, because those two words are bandied around. Please put your mic on mute. Is that for me? No, that's not for me. It's okay. Oh, do you know what? Even a year and a half into Zoom and Teams and this remote working, I still get distracted by things, so sorry about that. Okay, so back to it. Water sustainability versus water efficiency. So those two words get bandied around quite a lot, and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes just to explain the difference between the two. So water sustainability is that ability to meet the water needs of the present, so the water needs of today, without compromising the ability for future generations to do the same. So that's really sustaining the amount of water that we have available to us today, and also for kind of our children's children in the future. Whereas water efficiency is the effort to really reduce that direct consumption. Now, as the world, we are using twice as much water as we were 60 years ago. So saving water is a huge piece of what the Environmental Agency and what the likes of Ofwat are all trying to achieve throughout today and in the future. So it's a big thing, as I'm sure you're all aware, that water sustainability and water efficiency is really important, which is why I'm here today. So I'm here today to talk to you about, I'm not only going to talk to you about saving water at work, because I'm also going to, or in your business, I'm also going to help you to give you some ideas and some tips on how to save water at home as well. Even though Castle Water, we are a water retailer for business customers only, actually that water sustainability and that water efficiency piece is relevant regardless of whether we're a business or whether we're at home as well. So I'll be helping and supporting you to do all those things with a few tips and tricks as well that should be able to help you along the way. Obviously, as we save water, it's also going to reduce your carbon footprint. It isn't just about saving water, but you're also going to be saving that gas and electricity that you use when you heat water as well. So it's part of that bigger picture. So I would like to do a bit of a quiz with you. What you've got up here is you've got a QR code. If you could either scan that QR code or visit vivox.com and add in the session ID 139-135-461. It's just a platform where I can do a quiz for you, and we can just have a little bit of fun today as well. So if you could go onto Vivox, type in that session ID or scan that QR code, and can you just give me a bit of a thumbs up or a like when you've got there, so that I know that we're all good to go, please. Also, what I've done is I've just opened the first poll for you. Just want to make sure it's all working for you today. So if you can, once you've logged on, if you can answer the questions for me, that'd be great. And for my calculation, it looks like I've got 18 people here. So as soon as I get 18, brilliant, it's all working. Fabulous. I find it quite interesting. So I'm based down in Chichester on the south coast, and Castle Water is a Scottish company. So I run these polls sometimes, and just to make sure before we start training or anything like this, just say, you know, what's the weather like? And sometimes they can say it's snowy up in Scotland, but it's cloudy and rainy down here. So is everybody getting on okay?
Tamzin, we've just got a few people that have recently joined the session. So if we could just give them a few minutes to just to log on to the app.
Absolutely. So just for the benefit of the people who have just joined in, I'm just going to do a quiz, a water efficiency quiz before we get started. It's all anonymous. It's very easy. It's just to, I suppose, raise that awareness of water usage. So if you can just log on to vvox.com, enter that session ID, or take a photo of the QR code. And then if you can just give me a thumbs up or a really good when you're there. And I'll just give you a couple more seconds. Okay, so we've got, it looks like VVox is working for some of you, but maybe not for anybody. So we'll just continue to go, and if you can log on, that would be great. Okay, so we've got people, some people have got sunny weather and some people have got cloudy weather today. So this is the first question for water efficiency questions. Just give you a couple more minutes. Okay, lovely, thank you. So over a year, a year, a dripping tap can waste up to 39 bathtubs of water. The next question is, how many litres of water does it take to make one sheet of A4 paper? Okay, so it is 10. So in actual fact, it's 10 sheets of paper it takes to make, 10 litres of water it takes to make one A4 sheet of paper. Okay, and on average, how many litres of water does it take to create a single pair of jeans? Okay, so it's actually 10,000 litres of water it takes to make or create a single pair of jeans. And then if you, to produce a pair of jeans that's made from recycled denim, what percentage of water do you think is saved in that production? Lovely, thank you. So interestingly, it's 96% of water is saved if you buy a pair of jeans made from recycled denim. Okay, what percentage of the human body is water, or adult human body, I should say? I'm looking at my screen, sorry, when I'm looking down here because I can see your answers coming in. Yeah, so it's 60% of the human adult body is water. How much water does it take to grow one avocado? Okay, it's 272 litres of water to make one avocado. How many litres of water does it take to produce 1 pint of beer? It's 168. I'd love to see your reactions. I can't see your reactions of these, but when I do this in a face-to-face meeting, I love seeing people's reactions. It's just wow. 168 litres of water to make 1 pint of beer. How many litres of water is needed to make a 1 litre water bottle? It's 3. So it's 3 times the amount of water that's in the container that it takes to manufacture the plastic bottle. Couple more. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's between 2 and 3 litres of water is the recommended amount for an average human to drink per day. How many litres of water per day can a leaky loo waste? Okay, so it's up to 400 litres per day. A really good tip, and I think I've put it in. You should be able to see a description there in the comments. But a really good tip, especially at home. I know sometimes in some office buildings it can be quite difficult to get to your cistern, but if you put a couple of drops of food colouring into your cistern at the back of the toilet, and without flushing it, if that food colouring is filtering through to your toilet bowl, then you've got a leak. If you put a hippo, a water hippo in your toilet system, I'm not talking about a hippo animal, I'm talking about a water hippo is like a plastic bag that blows up with air, and actually it just takes up some of the space that the water would be normally taking up at the back of your toilet. Okay, so it saves 3 litres of water per flush. If you are for your house or for your flat, residential properties, some water wholesalers do provide water efficiency packs. So you could get some, I know Portsmouth Water ran a bit of a trial of water efficiency on shower heads and water hippos as well. So it might be worthwhile reaching out to your water wholesaler for your residential water to see if they've got anything they can supply you with. Okay, and the final question for you before I go on to talking about sustainability. How much water does an average person in the UK consume? How much do we all consume on average each day? I should have put daily on there, so I didn't put daily. Okay. So it is 142 litres of water we consume each day. Okay, so that's the end of the quiz. So if you can come back to the presentation for me, I'm just going to talk to you about some water efficiency advice and how we can help and support you with water efficiency. Now, this is first of all at work, so water efficiency at work. Okay, so there's 3 steps really for you. Step 1 is really understanding your water usage, understanding where you use your water, why you use your water, what you use it for. We have a walk around checklist, which I will share with Ellie so that you can have a copy of it. It's also on our website as well. And that really helps to answer those questions and helps you to understand your water usage and where you're using water, because if you can understand where you're using water, actually it can help you to understand how to implement water efficiency in certain areas. Set those key performance indicators, so those KPIs. I'm sure you've all heard of KPIs for various different things, but before I started at Castle, so 5.5 years ago, KPIs to me were always around sales and that sales piece, but actually KPIs for water efficiency and efficiency is really, really important. And that's really measuring your water efficiency performance over those different time periods to gain a better understanding of how your business uses water. It might be, you know, a simple example is in the summer, we ran I can't remember which wholesaler it was, but one of the wholesalers ran a test, and you know, wholesaler peak time 6 o'clock in the evening, there'd be a huge demand on water in the summer, and that was because people coming home from work and jumping in the shower. Again, in the morning, kind of between 6:30 and 7:30, huge demands on water, again because people are jumping in the shower, running baths. So it's really understanding where your business and when your business, what time periods are really using a lot of water and understanding why. A water efficiency plan, the experience that we have, if you have a robust water efficiency plan that's being reviewed regularly, it can save up to 50% of the site's water related consumption. So having a water efficiency plan is really, really effective. I've put some, you probably won't be able to see it very well, but I have put some screenshots of kind of the tools that we have. I'll share them with Ellie, but they are also on our website. So if you just type into Google Castle Water /water efficiency guide, we have a really comprehensive water efficiency guide there for you, which will really help and support you to save water throughout your business. If you've got any questions, I'll answer questions at the end if that's okay. Okay, yeah. So one of the main drivers at saving water efficiency as work is that behavioural change piece, and really helping staff and employees to understand why it's so important. I know when I go around to a lot of businesses and I kind of ask why taps are being left on. This is for businesses where you don't have the push taps, where the taps are being left on, and talking to staff and trying to figure out why taps are being left on. Actually, sometimes staff don't think it's their responsibility. So kind of achieving that behavioural change and really talking to your staff about why it's so important and helping them to understand. I think we've come so far, especially over the last, even since I've started at Castle Water with sustainability, and we're all very good, aren't we, at switching the lights off as we walk out of a room, because we're taught at school to switch the lights off. Actually, we're really starting to introduce that water piece as well, to turn the taps off and make sure you turn the tap off when you're brushing your teeth, for example. So it is coming. We are as a nation starting to achieve that behavioural change for water. But actually, if we can support that as employers and business owners and site owners as well, then that really, really helps. So it's talking to your staff about water saving initiatives, including those water saving policies and procedures in staff inductions. So I don't know, at the moment, do you have efficiency, so kind of electricity efficiency in staff inductions? If you do, can you add water in quite easily as well? Encourage staff to contribute to water saving ideas. At Castle, we provided all our staff with reusable cups, for example, so that they don't have to keep throwing away plastic cups. That not only helps with the water efficiency piece, but it also helps with kind of saving our carbon footprint as well. So if your staff have any ideas on how to save water, it's great to share it. Share it as you do any other ideas that you ask your staff to come up with. Discussing those water efficiencies at team meetings and providing the reports on water usage, and really helping all of the staff to get on board and to understand why it's so important. And even that checklist, that walk around checklist, this is why we're doing it, this is why we're walking around, to identify where we're using water and how we can all use less water. I do find appointing a water champion to check meters and monitor water use. Now, water meters, if you can get access to your water meter and you can take those regular meter reads, that does really, really help with that water efficiency piece. Do you have somebody that walks around and takes the electricity meter reads, for example? Can they just do the water meter as well, or can you appoint somebody else as a water champion? And by kind of establishing and setting a baseline for water use, you can then set achievable targets to save water. All of this is on our website, and all of this is going to be in the packs that we send out to you, so you'll have this as well. And then helping staff in that training, workshops, anything that we or I can do to help staff as well. If there's anything else that we can support you with, let me know. I'm more than happy to do training and workshops as well with other people, kind of your wider audience. Providing saving updates to management and staff. If you've identified, so for example, if you've identified 10 leaky loos in your building or in your office and you get them all fixed, you can really quantify that in terms of how much money and how much cubic meters or litres of water has been saved by fixing those leaky loos. And by sharing that with people, it really gives them something tangible, saying, actually, that's really, really important. We've saved X amount of litres of water by having those toilets fixed, for example. Water efficiency programme inductions, posters and stickers. I've got some posters that they're electronic posters, but I'm going to share them with Elliot as well, so you can print them off and put them around. Also, I have found, I don't know, I think it used to be, not that we do it anymore, but when we go into service stations and there used to be stickers, saving water, turn the tap off. If you have the touch taps, I suppose it's slightly different because they're programmed to just run for 30 seconds or a minute. Also in hotels, you remember those times when we used to go to hotels, there would be signs which would say, please reuse your towels, only put your towels if they need reusing in the bathtub, for example, because actually you can save water. And there's some research done behind the psychology of that actually, if on the notice board, it says that you're contributing, other people before you have saved X amount of water by reusing their towels. Actually, people are more likely to reuse as well. And adding a filter to your tap water. So at work, if you add a water filter to your tap water, then when staff want drinkable water, they can just use that rather than using bottled water, for example. We do have a behavioural change document on our website. Again, it's that water efficiency. If you go into that water efficiency page, there's a behavioural change guide on there for you as well. Okay, so now I've got some tips on how you can save water at home, because it's equally important to save water at home as well as at work. So if you install a water butt in the garden, then if you capture that water that comes off your roof, an average roof collects 85,000 litres of rain a year. So that's enough to fill a water butt 450 times. And you can use that water from the water butt to clean your car, to clean your garden, to water your garden, to water your grass, all of that stuff that you need water for in the garden. Reusing the paddling pool, we've been lucky, we've had a really good start to September, haven't we? But you can reuse that water for another, either for another day or to water your flower beds with it, for example. Using a watering can instead of a hose. Your hoses can use enough water to fill 12 baths every hour. So if you can use a watering can, you're really going to save on that amount of water that you're using. Garden sprinklers and hose pipes they're running can use between 500 and 1,000 litres of water an hour. That's up to 1,000 litres of water that has been treated and gone through that treatment cycle, and so much money has gone into that to make it fresh, clean, drinkable water, and people use it on their gardens and on their flower beds, that water from a water butt can absolutely do exactly the same. Water your plants at cooler times of day. So if you water your plants when it's cooler, the moisture's retained, so you won't need to water them as much. Don't cut your grass too short. If you cut your grass too short, then I hope you can see that okay. Yes, I'm sure you can. Sorry, don't cut your grass too short. Shorter grass dries out quicker, so it needs watering more often. So if you keep it slightly longer, then it doesn't need watering so often. Use a bucket to wash your car rather than using a hose. If you have a hot tub or if you have a paddling pool, if you use a scumble, then that collects all the body oils and lotions rather than you needing to throw the water away and redo it again. And then you have showers instead of baths. Take shorter showers if you can. On average, if you have a shorter shower, you'll save 12 litres of water a minute. So there's all different ways and lots of ways where you can save water. And not only are you saving water and helping towards that water sustainability and that water efficiency, but also you'll be saving money, especially if you have a metered property at home. And then just a few more tips for you. Only running the dishwasher when it's full, turning off the tap when brushing your teeth, waiting for, only using the washing machine when you've got a full load to put in, fixing dripping taps. Dripping taps and dripping toilets are one of the biggest water loss. That clean water is just going down the tap, down the drain, literally. So if you can fix those dripping taps and fix those leaky loos as well, that's a really good way to save water. And putting a hippo bag in your toilet, it can help to save up to 5,000 litres per year. You can put a brick in your toilet system, so it works exactly the same. It's just using that area up of something that isn't going to be used up with water. Okay, and where can you go for next steps? So we give you free water efficiency resources on our website. If you haven't checked out our website, check out our website. We have some great resources on there. We have a blog that we share with our our audience. You don't have to be a customer of ours, but we have a blog on there. There's a little, at the bottom left-hand corner of our website, there's a little bell. If you press that bell, you get notifications, but we release a blog twice a week. So if you're interested, I will share these documents with Ellie, but you can go onto our website and we have our step-to-step water efficiency guide, we have our site checklist, we also have our behavioural change guide, and there's so much more as well on the Castle Water website. Covered the blogs. We're on social media as well, so we share our blogs on social media, and we will share anything that is maybe relevant, any changes in the water market, any changes to legislation, any other updates that we feel our customers would benefit for. We also share helpful tips and advice, and also things like how to submit meter reads, or we have a I don't know if anybody here, you have access to your invoices, but if you do, you can get them on the My Account portal as well, but that might not be relevant for the audience that we have here today. Okay, so I feel like I've talked and talked and talked. So if anyone has any questions, we've probably got, I would probably think 5–10 minutes for questions, have we now, Ellie?
Yes, yeah, thank you, Tamzin. Yeah, if you've got any questions, please post them in the chat box. If you've got anything specific to your building, then let us know after the session and we can try and support you with that query. Thank you. Oh, I've just posted a question in the chat box, Tamzin. Are you able to see that?
Oh, okay, let me have a look.
I'm aware a couple of people are, we've run over a bit, so people are dropping off. So we'll just keep it to 5 minutes if anyone has any questions.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. Sorry, I couldn't see it on there. So do you anticipate changes in legislation to enforce more water conservation in future years, effects of climate change? Yes, absolutely. So every year the wholesalers have to submit their proposal and their 5-year plan to Ofwat. So Ofwat is the governing body. So they have to submit their plan, and Ofwat either agree their plan or send it back and say you need to change this. And what we've seen recently is we've seen that Ofwat really wants the wholesalers to focus on that water sustainability and making sure that there's going to be enough water in the future, and that responsibility for the wholesalers is key to everything, kind of fixing leaks, really helping and supporting customers with that sustainability piece, which is why I came back to with the whole contact your wholesaler, where if for your residential properties they may have shower heads and water hippos and all of that. But yes, it is high up on the agenda, is that sustainability piece, and it's something that Ofwat are really putting pressure on the wholesalers to achieve, and quite tough KPIs as well. So there's a high expectation on the wholesalers to reduce water usage. I hope that answered your question, Ellie.
Thanks, Tamzin. Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay, so we've got another one. With COVID-19, how much recommendations of 20 seconds or more? Approximately how would this have affected the amount of water used in the UK? It's obviously going to have a slight impact, but I think where we are starting to really talk more about sustainability and talk more around helping people and businesses, like with the leaky loo, you know, it's going to balance itself out. I think there's a fine line, isn't there? We have that 20 seconds or more, actually, how much extra water we're going to be. It's, I suppose, the benefits versus the cost, and it's so important to do the hand washing. We can save water elsewhere. So, for example, in hot weather, or even if anybody just likes a really cold glass of water, instead of running the tap, in my house, I have to run the tap for probably about 2 minutes to get really cold water. Whereas in the morning, I fill up a jug with water, I put it in the fridge, and then I keep going back to the fridge, and I've got really ice cold water waiting for me. So I really help people by saying you have to be washing your hands for that amount of time. It's really, really important. How else can you save water? And by doing things like putting the water in the fridge will help to balance that. Turning off the tap when you're brushing your teeth will help to balance that. Having a shower rather than a bath will help to balance that. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, Tamzin. I think that was all the questions that we had. Thank you so much again for your presentation. It was so interesting and definitely got so much advice from that. So we'll share everything after the session with all the attendees. So thank you for everyone that joined, and apologies for the technical issues again. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you. If anyone has any questions, then please do reach out. There's a couple of guides that I've just put onto the screen. That's what's coming out to you, so that will come out to you, Ellie.
Many thanks.